Oh gosh. Hi. Hey, it's me. My name's Aaliyah. And oh my gosh, I am in a bad way at the moment. I am uber stressed out of my mind. I'm not even looking at the camera properly, am I? No, I think I'm supposed to look there. I have done this before. I have another channel, a small one. Just under 500 subs. And I haven't posted there in I won't say a hot minute. It's been a hot couple of years at least, I think. Because I am just so stressed all of the time, preoccupied with my own self-judgment and fears of what other people are going to think. And at the moment, I am absolutely driving myself completely crazy. I have wanted to reboot and restart my channel for the whole longest while because I know it would really help me. And on my prior channel, people gave me tons of positive comments. If they would pop in on the live stream, they were always happy to hear and to see me because I tend to be positive and I try to be helpful and boost other people up. And throughout my life, I've been reasonably good at doing that. But the one person that has always been at the bottom of that list of people to help out and boost has been me. And nearing 60 now, it's the way I've approached life, helping and trying to take care of others and meet everybody else's needs and always putting me at the bottom of the list is really catching up with me. I mean, you can see it in terms of my appearance, my grooming, my weight. I have had gastric bypass surgery and RNY, Roumanie or whatever in French, I think it's called. And I had wanted to post all about that and share my journey on my other channel, and I never did. And there are, psychological reasons behind that, which hopefully I'll cover here one day, but to kind of get to the point, I am going to reboot my channel. I'm going to do it here just because I have so much social anxiety at the moment that I'm fearful of doing it on my own channel and then having people drop really nice, caring, loving, concerned comments about me. I know that sounds peculiar. If any of you ever see this and have watched before, Darlene Michaud, she has often talked about that in her videos, and I will try my best to put a link to her channel down below. Particularly not her main channel, but her smaller channel called Growing Up Crazy and her experiences with a narcissistic mother. When she spent a couple of years at least, I think, where she had her comments turned off on her videos, and she explained so many times to her viewers that the reason for that was not because she was afraid of criticism or negative comments. She said she just didn't give a hoot about those. It was the kind, supportive, loving comments that she couldn't handle. And I'm sort of in the same pickle. I know that to many of you that might sound odd. You can't believe it. Like, what's not to like about loving, supportive comments? But I know for me, it really brings me to a place where I guess, sink down to the core of my heart and my being, returning to my very messy, very painful, traumatic childhood and adolescence. And even though I'm nearing 60, I think those experiences so influenced my patterns of socializing and self-care and my view of the world. Wow, because, when we're youngest, our brain is developing, and any trauma generally that takes place when one is younger has an impact on brain development. So even though I'm nearing 60 and I have spent a lot of time in therapy over the last 30-something years, it's still something that I struggle with. There are ups and downs. I've had many years where I have been very successful in my career, in my relationships, personally. And then there have been a few times where I have really struggled, as I'm doing right now. So one of the things, actually, and I'm going to do it right now, that my therapist and I talk about, because I finally have a good one, is my tendency to apologize very often. And I am going to do that now because I think it is fitting. But I really am sorry if this is sort of like all over the map at the moment. It has taken me weeks, months to think about how to set up and record a return video. I want it to be, you know, perfect so that it's nice and concise and anybody can follow along and have a sense of what the channel is going to be. They can watch it quickly and decide, hey, yes, I want to, you know, follow along. No, I don't. I'm not going to benefit from this. And here I am just sort of mumbling and rattling on. But I do think that for some of you watching this, this is going to resonate because you're in the same sort of a pickle maybe as I am, struggling with challenges in your life, but recognizing that you yourself, like, hi, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me. That you're your own worst enemy, which is clearly what I am. So to sum up at this point, one, if you've made it this far and you've listened through, I want to really thank you for that. And that's very meaningful, and I do appreciate it. And to talk a little bit about what I'm hoping to do going forward, I really do want to reboot my channel, and I want it to be an ongoing process of recording and sharing my progress and my growth as an individual, tackling my issues over the next few years, because I know some of the issues that I face with myself and with others have been ongoing and or recurring many times throughout my life, and it's not going to be an overnight or a one-year fix. It's going to be an ongoing process for quite a while. So I do plan on this time following through and doing that. I think what interfered with what I allowed to interfere, let me own that, what I allowed to interfere with my following through on that process with my other channel was always being concerned with, I don't want to bring anybody down. That's one of the reasons that I will socially withdraw, is that because if I'm struggling and I can't then offer to boost or help other people or lift their spirits, and I think, okay, I'm better off like removing myself from the situation until I'm better. But then, of course, because I am so harsh at judging myself, my level of better in terms of thinking, okay, how good do I have to be before I can, you know, get back to socializing again, is not just, you know, here. It's like a bar that's like so high, it takes me forever to get there. So I'm going to try my best to throw that self-judgment and concern out the window. I have looked in Google. I'm going to check if I can borrow the book from the library. If not, I'm going to order it myself. The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F, a fudgicle, fandangle, fajita, and not worry so much about not being able to offer the best of myself to people. I know myself when I watch other YouTubers who are struggling through their own self-growth. One, for instance, like the channel I had mentioned a bit ago, Darlene Michaud, she's shared so much over the last, I think, 8 or 9 years she's been on YouTube. Or is it 10 now? Whatever. There's also a newer channel. His name is Adam. I find him very uplifting. He has his own issues. And I'm going to link to his channel down below as well, too. Down below means in the description box for you to check him out. And I'm going to stop worrying what people think if I'm struggling and it's taking me a while to get there. That's going to be a real challenge for me, but I'm committing to doing so. What I will say and what I will do, if you're still here, God bless you, is that if people leave comments, and I'm sure along the way they will, and I find them too triggering to read, what I, or like reply to is actually the word, I will at least heart them to let people know that, hey, I've read this. And when I can, I will reply. If you can get anything out of joining me with this, that would be wonderful. I'm always open to friendly, constructive critique and suggestions. Critique in the original use of the word, where to be critical means to assess a situation and determine, what can be done to improve it. Not being critical as in dragging another person down, because that doesn't help anybody. Yeah, so that's it. So, yes, okay. A summary of the issues that I'm going to tackle going forward. I think for the first little while, I'm going to focus on decluttering. Now, decluttering, I mean it in a few ways. I mean it in terms of my mind. I'm going to try to have, at some point, I'm going to try to organize it into a series so there can be a playlist so people who are just interested in those topics can focus just there on working on social anxiety, generalized anxiety, the development of agoraphobia through social anxiety, and depression, because I have had chronic recurring depression throughout my life since my adolescence. So decluttering, like the negative thought processes, the negative self-talk, I had lost my train of thought. So let's move on to the next thing. So decluttering all of this negativity out of my mind, and decluttering anxiety, also trying to pinpoint what to do, and then kind of like life hack it in the sense of try different methods for improving how I'm handling with things, and then track and measure those methods and share the results with you here, so I can share with you what I find is working and what's not working for me, so that maybe you get some ideas to try things to help yourself out as well too. I also need to work on continuing to declutter my body. I'll share that with you in another video. But my mother passed away in her 60s of ovarian cancer, and while I regularly get screening for that, that is a major concern. And of course, cancer of any type, because I am obese, I'm at greater risk as well. My obesity has put a real strain on my joints, and I want to be a healthy, functioning senior, and there's no way that's going to happen if I don't finally get my act together. So now's the time to do that. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the psychological reasons of why I overeat, because I eat to self-soothe. And I'm going to be talking about exercise and mobility, particularly for anybody who's a bit older and or has some either acute or chronic injuries that they're working with. I have a partially torn tendon at my left elbow that interferes with certain activities, but at the moment my biggest challenge is dealing with a torn meniscus in my left knee. Seems to be the left side of my body. It is actually the left side of my body that suffers a lot. So I've got a torn meniscus in my left knee and my knee is locked. So I'm working with that. That sometimes interferes with my mobility. I also have, and while this is not an injury, it's more like a symptom of, it's a chronic symptom of a medication that I had a trial of once so long ago. I also have cervical dystonia, the left side of my neck, and that is something that acts up severely when I get very stressed. The way it does that is that the left side of my neck becomes very, very stiff, and when I'm anxious, even when I'm not in a room with other people, I'm just by myself, if I'm having very stressful thoughts, what that means is that I will start to twitch like this, and my head will like switch to the right, and I can't get my head to tilt back to the left for all I'm worth. I was once anxious about taking a passport photo, and I had the hardest time because you're supposed to keep your face sort of like centered so they can see, all the distinguishing marks. And I had the hardest time getting my face to center and not move it this way, So I'm going to talk about working on decluttering my issues in terms of my health with my body, my mind, and then there's also my home. I am married. We have 2 adult sons living at home with us, aged 21 and 23. So I don't have little ones running around to keep me preoccupied, and I am off work at the moment. This is something I don't think I've shared on YouTube before. I'm on a long-term disability. And you can feel free to comment and discuss that down below. And if you're interested, I'll share how I got to this place and why I don't feel bad about being on long-term disability for a while. But my house has become a mess. And it's part and parcel of my anxiety. I have so many things I want to do and accomplish. And I put so much pressure on myself that I then become pretty non-functional. So, in terms of decluttering my home and dealing with all of my psychological and physical issues, I'm going to be talking also about a number of podcasts that I listen to, books that I've read, and I'm going to be doing trials of certain suggestions put out there by experts in the field for how to improve all of these areas of my life, and I'll share with you what the results are. Yeah, I think I'm going to start, though, with the decluttering of the home, because I'm leaning forward on my bed. You can see our messy bed a bit behind you over there. Haven't made the bed, of course, even though it's like going on 2 in the afternoon. But I'm going to start with the decluttering, because I've got this phone resting on a bureau in my bedroom, because while I do have a tripod, I can't find it. So, okay. I hope you're getting some sense of what we're going to be talking about over here, and if you're at all interested, I'd be thrilled to have you join me. And if you're still here listening to this, please feel free to drop a comment and tell me a little bit about yourself, and if you've gotten something from this, or if you think you're going to get something from it in the future and you're not shy sharing. I'd love to hear what it is that you're tackling right now and facing. What I can tell you about the comments section is that if anybody wants to leave comments, let's say, criticizing, again, politely, please, if you can refrain from bad language, that would be appreciated, and no bashing anybody and, tearing them down. I won't tolerate anybody doing that in the comments against anybody who shares their own experiences down below, so you don't have to worry about that. If anything like that pops up, that comment will be deleted, and if that person keeps coming back, they will be blocked. I want this to be a place where people can feel safe to open up, share their thoughts, feelings, and suggestions. And hey, if you have your own channel and you're going through something like this, let me know down below too. I'll be happy to check you out and come and see if maybe I can learn something from you as well too. I'd really appreciate that. So again, for anybody still here, thank you so much. It means a lot to me. Again, my name is Aliyah, A-L-I-Y-A-H, and I will be back soon with, I think the first video coming up is going to be a tour of this very room, because it is the worst in the house. Shared living spaces are generally tidier. I keep up with those. But this bedroom, for a number of reasons, some beyond my control, and not just my husband's, challenges, but my boys also, is the worst of the lot. So I think it's where I'm going to start, because this used to be a nice cozy refuge for me. You can only see a little bit of it now where that, I think I'm pointing in the right place. You see that artwork on the wall there? It says, think different, create every day, laugh often, seize the moment, find your own way, believe you can, make it happen. That used to be a really cozy corner with some nice little fairy lights and mood lighting, and I would record my videos over there, and I miss doing that. It was kind of like a place to go sit and read if I wanted to, and it is no more because it's a mess. So I'm going to start off with that. The way I'm going to do it is, I think I'm going to first give you a tour of the room and tell you a little bit about how it got that way. And then I think in the videos that follow, I'm going to set up my camera throughout the room, and God willing find my tripod and film you know, myself going through things, and I'll try to, I don't know how to do it yet, but I'll try to learn how to do a voiceover so that I can maybe speed up the action so if you're seeing me doing it. But let's say stop at more critical points if there's some point that I want to make, and then share in the voiceover what the emotional experiences were, what the emotional experience was like, and how I'm going to tackle it so it's not overwhelming. Okay, so again, thank you very much. I will be back with more soon, certainly by Sunday night at the latest. Today is Thursday, so within the next, let's say, 3 or 4 days at the latest. I think Sunday's only 3 days away. Yeah, with that tour of the bedroom and our talk about how we're going to go forward with starting with the decluttering. Okay, thanks. And hey, if you're here on a Thursday or any other day of the week that's not a weekend, have a great weekend. Take good care of yourself and focus on your blessings as best as you can. Bye for now.